Hello everybody, this is Volcanic Gaming and we are here with our first episode of our 2K MyLeague. This is our first real episode of my regularly, scheduled videos that I am doing. I do have my upload schedule. It'll be in the description below if you want to check that out, but this is the first one that is coming out. This series will come out every 3 weeks on a rotating schedule. So it's going to be this one on Mondays, and then the following week will be a different one, and after that it will be another one. I can't actually remember which one it is. I'll have to take a look at the schedule, but hopefully this is going to be a very entertaining franchise for everyone that watches. This is the Pittsburg Locomotives. We are an expansion team, and I think this is actually one of the coolest features in any sports game, because most games don't allow you to create your own team and, build yourself from the ground up. Madden used to let you do that, but now they don't. You're not allowed to create your own team. And this one even goes as far to have you design your jerseys, design your stadium the way you want it, which is exactly what we are doing currently. I think I went through a bit of a process trying to create the stadium, because originally I didn't really know what I was doing, because this is the first time I've ever done it. This is actually the first any NBA 2K game on my channel, because I just recently got the game, so some stuff in this game mode may take a little bit of getting used to. It's different from the other games like MLB The Show and Madden with the trade system and how to do that. So it's just a learning process, and I will be able to get through that as we go on in this series. I'm going to keep this episode relatively short, since the on-screen stuff is mainly just going to be going through and setting up the stadium, setting up the uniforms, and then also we are going to do the draft in this episode, but that really won't last that long, since I'm just going to show the biggest selections that we have in the draft. It's not really going to be each and every individual selection that we make, so yeah, really that won't last that long. What I mainly want to do in this first episode is explain what this franchise is and what we are doing. So obviously I wanted to do an NBA, franchise, so I decided it's best to do an expansion one, because, you can create your own team and, really build a franchise from the bottom up, because, there are crappy franchises in this league, but I think an expansion team has a lot more potential. And also, primarily an expansion team in their first season doesn't really have much of an expectation as to make the playoffs or really do well in their first season, which opens up a lot for us, because we don't have that expectations. We can just go out there and play our brand of basketball in our first season, and even so we can still try to make that push for the playoffs, because it really doesn't matter that we are a new team, because as you see in our draft, we have some valuable assets that we will probably end up trading in the next episode, which will pretty much make our team competitive. I mean, I know we're not good enough to make it to the NBA Finals or even maybe past the first round, but if we can get a playoff spot, that might open up the possibility of landing a pretty good free agent after this first season, since if we do a little bit better, then they might be more enticed to come to our team. So basically that's the mindset that we have for this franchise. I'm just going to touch upon why we chose the name that we did and the city that we did, which our name is the Pittsburg Locomotives. So obviously we chose Pennsylvania primarily because they already have a baseball team, an NHL team, and a football team. So you'd think it would also be a good place to start an NBA franchise, which is exactly what we are doing in this video, obviously. Also, we are sticking with the usual Pittsburgh black and gold color. I didn't really know what else to choose, so why not just continue with that color scheme? Also, I am not the most artistic person, so that's why the uniforms don't really look as professional as obviously the other NBA teams, but I think they look pretty decent. So just leave in the comments below what you think of the uniforms. And the court is black, which is completely different from any other NBA court, which is what I was going for something a little bit different. And also I end up changing the color of the yellow because it looked a little bit orange to me, so I just went with a little bit of brighter yellow, so it's not as gold as, say, the Pirates or the Steelers, but I think it'll do. Also, the logo looks a little bit funky because I didn't really know how to upload a custom logo at this point, so we just ended up going with one of the stock ones instead. Probably later on in the franchise, I will make my own custom one and upload it. So you might see that change later on. That's basically going to end this video after the draft. On the screen is going to be a couple of players that I highlighted and stuff like that. Also, apparently was sponsored by Foot Locker because I didn't know what else to put on the NBA court. But that is the end of our expansion draft. Like I said, probably the top player or top overall player will be dealt away at the beginning of the next video because he is 29 years old, which really isn't that old of an age. But we really are looking to get a star player that can electrify this team and kind of propel them into a 7 or 8 seed so we can actually make the playoffs like I stated earlier. But that's going to end this video. Stay tuned for the next one. This is Volcanic Gaming and I will be signing out.